All right, welcome to the bench, everybody. Today we're tying a size 24 little bitsy midge. So it's just a little redworm midge, or little size 24 chironomid. This is a great pattern for picky trout on a lot of these western rivers that eat really small bugs. If you really need to size down and you hate tying these little tiny flies, this is a great fly for you. All right, so all we're going to use for this fly is thread. So we got UTC 70 in black. We've got Vivus 18-aught in red. And we've got Semperfly Classic Waxed in white. All right, and this is 18-aught. So how we're gonna do this fly is we're gonna start off with our black, and we're just gonna get a little tiny bit of a head wrap. You wanna leave a little bit of a space behind the head. Just a small amount of space. Okay, now we're gonna cut off our excess. Okay, now we're gonna just pull this up and out of the way. And we're going to switch to our red. And starting behind where we started the last tie-in, we're just going to get that secured. Now we're going to nip off our excess. Alright, now holding pressure on that black thread so it doesn't get all wound up in there, we're just gonna bring just down to about halfway down the hook bend, and then we're gonna this red thread. All right, and that's why we do a whip finish on that first thread, just to make sure. Or that's why we secure that white. My words. All right, so the black thread, this UTC 70, needs to be secured on there, because this happens with these little tiny flies where it can be very difficult, because you don't want to use like something like this Uni 6-aught to do a fly like this. It'll just never work out for you. It'll just overbuild like crazy. So you really got to get the thin threads. UTC 70 would work probably in all these colors. This is just the thread that I like to use for this fly. Because it's just very fine. Probably nano silk would be a better suit for this red. So anyways, so now we gotta capture all that black in there without hooking that hook barb there. Okay, now we got it where we want it. Okay, so now we're just gonna easily build up a little bulbous butt. And now we're just gonna bring our red back up to the front here. Now we're gonna whip finish the red. We're done with it. Just a quick little, I don't like it right there. There we go. A quick little 3-turn whip finish. Cut off your thread. Now we're going to get our white. This one we can start right at the very front. You want to really try working on touching wraps. I want to cover up all that red. Okay, now I'm going to nip off my little excess there. But yeah, so with these little tiny hooks, you really gotta, it's easy to want to get going fast to get these ties in, but you just gotta slow down a minute so you don't hook that little hook barb or hook point. It's snap your thread every single time. So patience with these little flies is key, or they will drive you crazy. All right, so now that we're here, we got a nice thread base, little taper built in there. And if you like your taper, which I do, now we're gonna do another 3-turn whip finish. Okay. So now you can go clockwise if you want, but I find that the thread can get buried in the other thread and it can not look quite as good. So I spin up my black, get it nice and corded. Now we went around clockwise. Now we're going to go counterclockwise with our black. This is our rib material. So we just want to make a nice, easy point, nice little rib here. You should get about 4 turns, or 4 or 5. Okay, so this is where it's a little challenging. You got to think outside the box. You're going to do a reverse whip finish. If you don't do whip finish, you just do a simple nail knot or simple knot tool, or you can do whatever knot you want, but this is reverse. So you got to, instead of coming into it from the front and doing your whip finish, you're going to come into it from the back, and you're going to hook it, and then you're going to bring it up to the fly, and you're just going to do it the direction you would want to do it so that it doesn't unwind the thread. It's not that difficult. Once you do it one time, you'll be like, oh, this is easy. It's just like a guide on the bighorn once told me in Montana, the bighorn in Montana, Fort Smith. He said, there's 2 sides to the river, so you really should learn how to cast with both arms, and it makes a huge difference being an ambidextrous caster. You can cast right up against the little willows when the caddis are coming off, right off the willows on the wrong side of the bank from where you are. So it's always worth practicing different things with your other hand. All right. Now that we're there, we've whip finish done. Now we just want to put a little bit of our varnish on this guy. And these little flies, you're never going to keep it out of the, you're never going to keep the varnish out of the eyelet. So just have a piece of wire ready to take care of it. I got a little bit of fuzz there. Did not get off, so I'm just going to cut that off. Okay. One more little fuzz. All right. Okay. Just the dingus right there. Okay. So I just have a little piece of brassy sized wire here that I use to get that eyelet cleaned out and just straight through, and wipe it off with your fingers. One more. Boom. Okay. Nothing worse than getting to the river and not being able to get your tippet into the hook. So that's our fly right there. Turns out like that once it's all dry. And what I really like about the classic waxed white thread from Semperfli is it is very UV reflective. So to give you an idea, here's just some Danville's flat waxed, and it look at the difference. See that? Boom. So that Semperfli classic wax got something going on that I like. So again, you don't have to use the white. You could use any color. You can do olive, you can do silver, you can do black, you can do black body, white thread for the body. You can do orange, green, whatever color you want. But this particular fly in this pattern right here tends to be a really good producer, especially for super picky fish. Sometimes you gotta go down to 6X, 7X and hope that you have a good drag and hope that you have enough space to fight these fish. But sometimes, the stars align and you get lucky. So give a couple a shot. Thanks for sticking by to the end, and if you're sticking by this long, you might as well like and subscribe so you get all the notifications and whatnot. Thanks again. Have a good one.